Say yeah, it feels good, don't it? Damn, it feels good to have people up on it. Say yeah.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 37 of Community Chronicles, a DDPY community video interview series. My name is Anthony Vignes. My guest this week is someone that is one of the rare DDPY warriors I got a chance to meet in person. And the minute I did, I was so overwhelmed with her energy that I said, we got to sit this lady down and talk to her for a little Community Chronicles chat. So my guest this week is a 2023 Positively Unstoppable Challenge contestant, a teacher for over 20 years from Strong Island, New York. Please help me welcome Mel Savitt. Did I say that right?
You did.
Awesome. Oh, because that would have been embarrassing. But welcome, Mel. So Mel's a huge fan of the show. Never watched a single episode. So we're looking to add another 2 or 3 listeners to our listenership here. But first things first, we're just going to ask you to do what we ask everybody to do, and that's give us kind of the condensed videotape sleeve version of how you came to find the DDPY program and what the program has done for you since.
Okay, in 30 seconds or less, maybe not.
Good luck.
So the very condensed version is I was scrolling Facebook. I was miserable in my body and my weight, and I saw the Arthur Borman video because, you know, Facebook listens to everything you say, do, and Google. So, you know, Mark Zuckerberg sent me Arthur, and that was back in 2019. I watched the video and something in my brain said, well, I didn't jump out of planes and I didn't break everything, and there's literally no reason that I can't try this. So I did subscribe. It took me till 2022 to commit to it. I just wasn't desperate, and I wasn't willing enough, and I wasn't ready. And not even ready. I truly didn't hit my bottom of being, you know, unwilling to sit in that body anymore. And I did hit that April 3rd of 2022. And that's what I consider my day one. I was back up to 439 pounds on that day. And I decided that I was going to try to stop the insanity of doing the same thing over and over again with the same, expecting different results. So I posted on the page and I said, this is my day one. I had just my sports bra and leggings, and I just put it all out there. And that is how I started.
And that's the worst part of it, is putting yourself, especially not everybody does it. I myself, admittedly, didn't do it that way. My day one was in private. But that's a different form of accountability that you've got there. And you've gotten the worst part of it, the self-consciousness. You've already gotten that right out of the way. Right? So you can only go up from there.
And it did. I mean, I posted consecutively for a really long time. And on day 11, I accidentally posted on my personal Facebook page where I was only posting on the private DDP yoga group. And that, for some reason, even though it was 73,000 at that time, it's up now to almost 79. And for some reason, I was okay with that because it was all strangers. And once I posted on my personal page on day 11, I freaked out. And then realized that every single comment from everybody who's, you know, who I'm friends with that has known me forever was just the most supportive, loving thing that I could never have even imagined. So now, you know, after that day, I've posted on my personal page and the DDPY page because I ultimately hope that my journey will help others.
Yeah, I mean, that's happened to a lot of us where it's like, oh, whoops, what do I do? What do I do? Do I go delete that, or do I let it hang out there? And more often than not, yes, there's maybe a detractor here or there, but more often than not, people are going to be very supportive, if not inspired by what you're doing, what you're committing to. And so happy accident there for you.
Very
And it's, you know, that the
I've
thing
ever
about the posting on the DDP yoga page is different because, well, everybody's doing that. That's what that page is there for. And you've got moderators, you know, to cut down on the negativity and to make sure that what you're putting up there is relevant. And out in the greater Facebook ether, you don't have that. So it's scarier out there. But yeah, that's a huge move. And I'm envious because I still don't do that. I did that once myself, but thankfully it was just a video of me sweating really, really bad while doing a workout in the backyard. So Mel, you mentioned that you subscribed, but it took you a long time to commit to the day one. And the day one, no matter what situation anybody is coming from, right? Whether it's a weight issue or it's an injury issue or it's an addiction issue, everybody has got to reach that point where they're ready to commit. You can hand them all the tools that they want, but if they are not in the right mindset to commit to this one thing and put all their effort into it, it's useless.
Absolutely.
So was there anything else that you tried before the DDPY program?
You're so cute. Was there anything else? Literally everything else. You know, my highest weight was 498 pounds. I had been to all the Pagan Ways, Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, everything my parents dragged me to, private nutritionists. I had joined a gym at one point. I had tried every diet. I had 2 weight loss surgeries. Nothing. I don't want to say nothing worked. It's that I couldn't do it. I literally just couldn't do it. Nothing really clicked for me. And in 2019, when I started the first time, when I got the program and started the app, and it worked. I felt the difference. I was like, just not there where I was ready to make lasting changes. You know, there's a lot of work that has to go on in your head, and I didn't have enough, I don't know what the word is, you know, confidence, willingness, support, any of it. And even, you know, a certain amount of maturity, I think, you know, even though it was only a few years ago, I was different. I was just different. And it took a lot to get to that point where I was like, okay, you know, I'm doing this differently.
Yeah,
So
I could attest. I get less and less mature every day. So we change over time. So what is it about this program where you can do it aside from just the mental preparation? What makes it a fit for you?
because when I started at 439 pounds and post 4 ankle surgeries, you know, I have a handicap placard for my car. I was on a knee scooter and in a boot and struggled a really long time with just standing up and walking, because of the weight and because I've had 4 ankle surgeries on my right ankle, and full of hardware and wires and all kinds of fun stuff in there, and arthritis. I was able to start in a chair, and I was like, well, I sit all day, you know, like that's my activity is sitting in different places. So, you know, he had a program for that. There was a program sitting in a chair. What excuse could I possibly have that I can't sit in a chair and move the rest of my body? There was no, like, you know, like that excuse is not valid.
Mm-hmm.
There was a bed program. Like if I'm that, you know, if I want to go that way, then I could even lay down and do it. So it was basically like, that conversation with myself was like, all right, Mel, really? Like, what are you going to do? Like, is there really a reason you can't try this?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the fact that you can do it laying down, that is something. And what you find, if you've done them all, right? If you've done the bed workouts and you've done the chair workouts, and you tried this, I've seen you do stand up stuff. It's a lot of the same core movements.
Yes, right? It is.
So you're going to do it laying down, then you're going to do it sitting up, then you're going to do it standing up with some support from a chair, and then you're going to do it on your own. And when you're ready for that, we'll throw a few things in there that involve getting up and down.
I mean, I literally, and I never thought I would progress out of the chair. And then I did. And then I went back to the chair because I was constantly fighting sinus infections and MRSA and all kinds of crap growing in my face because I work with little kids. And that's been its own journey and that I think ties into the nutrition portion of DDPY. But I, what happened first for me was the physical movement and the building of the strength and the body recomposition and all of that and weight loss. But, it was, wait, I'm doing this. Wait, I think I can stand up now. Holy crap. Like, wow, I can just lean on the chair. Wait, I might not need the chair today. And then all of a sudden it was like, I'm going to try down dog on the mat. That was like my first goal. And I did it. I've never accomplished a goal before in my life. I mean, physically, I did have a career and degrees and stuff, but physically, I never accomplished a goal ever. I never made a goal because I was too afraid to.
It is amazing. It's a different thing too. Yeah, we've all, a lot of us have achieved other stuff, but never really had anything substantial physical that we accomplished before. And I can attest to that. There's so many firsts when it comes to DDPY that they feel different, and you feel more accomplished because it took just literally physical effort to get it done and persistence. So yeah, it's been fun to watch. Like, that was one thing that I've kind of followed your story a little bit, at least for the last, I don't know, year maybe. And
I don't know, year. Yeah, that's
somewhere around there. But I creep, I hang around. And that's one thing that stuck out. There's just certain people that you come across in the community. Like, we're all here to support each other, but every once in a while you stumble across one that just kind of stands out as someone where you're like, man, I really want to see this person win. And you're one of those people for me, Mel, where every time I see it come up, it's almost always positive. It's almost always from a positive aspect. And I think, man, I love to see her keep succeeding. And I hope that continues. So
and what talk about it very honestly, like, my biggest fear is that one day I will just choose to stop. And I know, like, I tell myself, no, you can never leave, because if I stop, I die. And I know that is absolutely 100% true. If I stop, I will die. There is no question. I will go back, and I can't go back because, thank God, I burned the boats. There is no going back. And I'm living. Sorry, that when you hear your dog make a sound, that's not okay.
I've got one here too, so don't worry about it.
I can't go back, and nor do I ever want to. I mean, DDPY has opened up an entire life that I never even dreamed was possible before. I'm not going to cry. I'm almost
and it's true for so many of us. We stick with it. It's not hashtag not a cult, right? It's not because we joined a cult. It's because we finally found something.
Someone asked me if DDP was like Richard Simmons. I'm like, yeah, no, not at all.
Not quite. No, and he's not like Jim Jones either. But
we're not dealing with any of that.
But the thing is that we just come to recognize this. We've struggled to find a solution for so long, and you've got one that continues to work if you just put the work in. And you know that if I don't pay attention to every aspect of this, like, yes, I got to exercise, but I also have to eat properly, and I have to take care of myself mentally. If you don't have that three-legged stool, the stool falls over, right? And then once the stool falls over, it's like, well, just throw it in the fire pit. And so I totally get that too. We have to keep doing it or some version of it. Otherwise, we're going to go right back to where we were before. I
go to OA for support with the eating disorder because I have very disordered eating. I need that support as well, but they go hand in hand because without the DDPY community, I wouldn't be moving. And I wouldn't be living. Like, I'm living a life that I never even dreamed of.
Yeah. Well, on that note, getting to move around, experience new things. And I mentioned that you and I got to meet face to face. We got to meet up just this week as we're recording in Smyrna at the DDPY Performance Center. First time visit for both of us. What do you think of that experience?
First time too. It was incredible. And I can't believe I walked in there and they're like, okay, you're going to be on the stage. I'm going to be on the what now? I'm sorry, me? It was the most incredible, loving, amazing experience and mind-blowing that so many people knew who I was because, you know, you post, and people comment on it, but it's like, you know, strangers on the internet. And then all of a sudden it's real and Dallas is hugging me and telling me happy birthday, and Paige is hugging me and telling me, oh my God, I'm so glad you're here. And I saw your pictures from the aquarium. And I'm like, you saw my pictures from the aquarium?
They're watching. Everybody creeps. No. But yeah, it was
like, it's so real. And everybody, I mean, you know, you meet people that you've just commented on, they've commented on your stuff and you've maybe chatted with them or not, and they hug you like you're their sister that you've just never met. It's incredible. The community is incredible.
It is. And it was weird for me because I get that same thing. Like, oh, yes, these people are on the internet. They're imaginary, right? They're my friends, but, you know, not like my real friends because I...
A page, I'm like, real. Like, this is real. You're real. She's like,
yeah. And so when they come up to you and they say, oh, hey, Anthony, and it's like, yes, it is. And there was one gal I hadn't met before that said to me, well, you when we were chatting earlier, you brought it up. She's like, are you the podcast guy? And I'm thinking, am I? Like, what do you, I guess, like I do this little YouTube show, and she, Debbie Winter.
Yes, and Debbie is the whole reason I went. Do you know that she bought me a ticket? We had never met.
I did not know that. Well, what the hell, Debbie? Where's my ticket? I had to buy my own.
We had never met. We had never spoken. She messaged me out of the blue. We weren't even friends on Facebook.
Wow.
And that her profile picture is of the Bahamas. No face. So she messages me and she goes, I bought 2 tickets for the workshop in July. One is for you. And I was like, is this like some kind of weird like, scam? Like, it seems a little weird to be a Facebook scam. Like, it was insane. And here I am like, okay, then I'm going to book a trip. And it was crazy. It was crazy. And then she sends me the confirmation, so I knew she was real. And she lives in the Bahamas, and she came in and we met. We actually flew in at the same time to Atlanta airport, and she picked me up because now I get into cars with strangers, but not strangers. And it's incredible.
It's like, I know she lives in the Bahamas, so I can tell that to the authorities. But that's it. And what an amazing lady to do something like that.
Absolutely.
So it just goes to show you that there is some value. I mean, it's not always in the form of, you know, gifts like that. But there is value in putting yourself out there because you do inspire people and motivate people. Somebody's always watching, and you never know how they're going to receive it.
I'm always grateful because I do get a lot of messages. Like, I really appreciate posts, and I do try to post. Like, not every day is unicorns because I am one and whatever. But not every day it's rainbows and wonderfulness. Some days are freaking hard. Some days I hit the mat and I cry because I can't move. Some days, it comes easy, and some days I really don't want to hit the mat, but I hit the mat anyway because it's afterwards.
That never goes away. Everybody's got their days. I've usually got at least 1 week where I'm like, oh, F this shit. I don't,
Right.
I'm going to do it, but I really don't want to. But I'm going to do it anyway, because I know it's good for me and I feel better if I do, but God, I'm going to hate it the entire time.
Exactly.
But then you never, and you'll curse the whole time you're doing it. But when you're done, you're never going, God, I wish I hadn't done that.
Never.
You never regret it. And so
it took me over a year to even figure out, and I don't know that I've figured it out 100%, but to even get my heart rate in the green. Like, I reached out to everybody under the sun in our group, and every admin, like, I can't do it. And all of a sudden it kind of clicked. Not even long ago. I want to say like 2-3 weeks ago.
And that's another one there's all kinds of, there's multiple things that go into that. So if you're not focusing on a bunch of the things at once, then it's not going to happen.
Not going to hit it. Like, I realized that after. I'm still in pain from the PC. The best pain ever, but holy crap.
Yeah. Oh God. I can tell you, I hadn't had a really good, like, heart pumping workout in quite a while. And I managed to get that from the greatest DDPY instructor ever. Sorry, DDP, but George Fenmore. He managed to get my heart rate up more than anybody else has for about the last 6 months. And because I just been chatting with somebody off the side of I was on the other end of the stage from Mel, and I was over by a lot of the DDP yoga vets that have been doing it for
you were
7-8 years. And I said to them, look, even when I'm all stressed out, my heart rate's still sitting at like 70. And they're like, oh, just wait. And so I just waited, and yeah, it worked. It was awesome. So even the real people and the internet people, they're all people. They're all awesome. Even the ones with weird Facebook profile pictures. And that's not that clicked now why I didn't recognize Debbie is because, oh, I've never seen your face is why.
Palm trees.
Where's the palm trees? But anyway, I agree. And this is exactly what we're shooting for with our show here, is just demonstrating the power of that community. And you're kind of a walking, talking example of that. But in the interest of brevity, how do you feel about rolling into some rapid fire questions?
Bring it on.
All right, Mel, as a longtime watcher of the show, you know that you just say the first thing that comes to mind.
Yes, I do know.
All right. If you were a Starbucks drink, what would you be?
Iced venti Americano with oat milk and sugar-free vanilla and cinnamon. Easy. Next.
What would be your walk-up song?
It would be Survivor by Destiny's Child.
What's your favorite thing to do on a rainy day?
Sing in the rain.
Perfect. What's your favorite thing to do on a sunny day?
Go to the beach.
All right. Name for me an unreasonable fear that you have.
Insects of all sizes, even when they're giant moths that live in my house that may actually only be this big, but definitely seem this big.
What is your favorite?
Might be unknown and can't find it anymore.
What's your favorite board game?
Boggle and Candyland, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Pre-K teacher, you got a strong Candyland game, I'm sure.
Where's the unicorn one? I'm just saying I'm going to need it here.
What is your go-to binge watch?
Grey's Anatomy.
Right.
And Gilmore Girls.
Ah, well, yeah, the great shows that I don't watch any of. But what is your biggest pet peeve?
Gum chewing. I'm a teacher.
Oh, I'm so glad I almost put a piece of gum in before we started here. because I'm a chronic gum chewer, but
And talking.
shit, I'm sorry. But what is the worst advice you've ever received?
The worst advice I've ever received. I am not even sure. That's a tough question.
It's some people it stands out, some people it doesn't, because some people are smart enough to not listen to bad advice.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know that I've really gotten terrible advice, except maybe like just do this when just doing this is just not easy,
yeah,
so
it's
easy.
a lot easier said than done. And what's the best advice you've ever received?
Don't leave before the miracle happens. Don't give up.
Perfect. Well, you survived it. You did very well on that. That's near record time. Especially, yes, you're right up. I'm uber impressed by your Starbucks order, because that's a lot of stuff to remember. Because for me, I can just say,
well, I have a small Starbucks addiction, which I'm
yeah.
glad 12-step program for it. Yeah.
Me, it's just black
I'm
in a
on
cup, please.
DDPY and Starbucks, so
I mean, it could be worse. All right. So the other thing that the next thing we ask everybody to do here, because the show is about community, is just pick one or two members of the DDPY community, or as many as you want, that you think deserve a little recognition, and give us a tidbit of why.
Well, I would be remiss if I did not start with my dysfunctional diamonds group that I named. We have a chat that goes literally from the minute we wake up until the minute we go to bed. Each one of us are working our asses off and so committed to this program. So that includes, but not limited to, Dashcam Dave in Texas, Chris Goodman in Winnipeg, Canada, Crystal, also known as Herbert, in Illinois, Julie Good in Iowa, Laura Ellsworth Shacker in Massachusetts, Wendy Wu Ilsky in Louisiana, Myron up on the West Coast, and I'm sure I'm forgetting people, Jesse, Brittany. I mean, we're all just kicking ass, and on our off days we have each other. We say we have a 24-hour hotline, like press 5 when you need psychiatric help, press 1 if you're just not in the mood but you need to do a workout. We do our workouts on video when we need help. I mean, those people are incredible. Shout out to Paul Cardinal, who was my first accountability partner, who I still need to meet, who lives on Long Island, so he has no excuse at this point.
Yeah. What the hell? You're right down the street. See, I have an excuse. I'm out in the middle of the map. I don't live by anybody.
I'm to commit for like 2 weeks from now, maybe.
Okay.
We'll see.
I mean, otherwise, I mean, you outed everybody else and where they live. So, I'm sure that you've got Paul's mailing address. You can just show up one of these days.
I feel like I can. And of course, my Debbie Winter. And I mean, so many people. I can't even name them all, but they're just doing amazing things. Sarah Smith, Sarah Elizabeth, like just on and on and on and on.
Yeah,
And
everybody is great. Like we can't get them all on here, but we damn sure try.
I want
to. Everybody deserves some recognition. So, all right. Well, that was awesome, Mel. There's only one more thing.
I have to shout out Lily because she put our whole group together for her stand-a-thon, and it's evolved into this amazing community. And I really hope that she's not one who leaves before the miracle, because she can kick ass.
Yes, rooting for you, Lily Prince.
That's right.
All right. Well, thank you. One more thing before we get out of here, and that's just give us a bang to shut her down.
Bang! Don't forget to do this tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Whatever you are, be a good one. We'll see you next time.
Money got my happiness, today I'm feeling great. And if you smile all the time, then your face gon' turn that way. Yeah, it feels good, don't it? Damn, it feels good to have